It says recording again. All right, guys. So welcome. This is we are here hanging out at the French Fuckers Loft, and today I got Philly's own fucking group of brutes and fucking dirtbags, FTS, some of my favorite boys. So I'm gonna take it with you. We're gonna start with you over here, Will. So just tell me your name, what you do in the band, and I don't know, a little bit about yourself.
My name is Will Scabies. I play rhythm guitar, bass, and FTS. No.
Hell yeah.
Bye.
I'm Zed. I sing, and I don't know, this couch is a little sticky.
Yeah, it's the French Fuckers Loft.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect anything
It
else.
smells like cum in here.
Nah, dude, you figure put it this way, dude. For all you guys out there who've seen the movie Repo Man, you know at the end how the car is floating and it glows in the dark? If you were put a fucking black like this whole fucking
The
car would be like
entire loft.
glow in the dark, yeah.
And they're really high ceilings here.
Alright.
My name's Keith. I play guitar. I book a lot of shows for FTS in Philly, and bow.
Alright. Oh, and just so you guys know, the band also does have an additional member, so if somebody
There's a drummer, sometimes there's a bassist, you know. Technically we're a 5-piece, but
yeah.
we make do whatever we got.
We like to talk to you.
Alright, so tell me guys, what inspired FTS and what is the FTS agenda?
FTS was started basically out of the ashes of my old band, Common Alliance.
Awesome band.
And
yeah.
thank you, it was fun. And from after the breakup of Common Alliance, the drummer and guitarist stayed, and then we formed FTS with the addition of Dustin Russell, who is sadly no longer with us. He decided to move on, had a lot of personal stuff he wanted to get done, and still doing awesome, good shit. And so from that, we've just kept evolving from the past 4 or 5 years into what you hear nowadays. The agenda, fucking tour, make you fucking hit each other as hard as you can, make you fucking feel the fucking music.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, definitely make more music. Have good times.
Tour as much as possible.
Come to a town near you.
Yeah, guys, stay tuned, man. And at the end of this, we're going to put the links and all that good shit so you know where to get these guys' music and know when they're going to play next so y'all could go check them out. All right, so since you were talking a little bit about lineup, I know that you guys had a couple lineup changes, so you want to talk a little bit about like your current lineup and previous lineup and see how the band evolved, basically. A little bit about
So, would you like the what's the word?
I guess it makes sense.
Yeah. Biological.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a
The
living, breathing
biological,
organism.
yeah. So,
We
yeah,
started
that
out as
makes sense.
Don't cut me off. We started out as a 4-piece with Chaz on drums, Dustin on bass, who we already mentioned, and King Animal,
Hell yeah.
as he's known in the street game. And from there, we had, after about a year, we added John K on lead guitar, Shredmaster Supreme. And after the first tour, Animal has a darling young little girl, Ava, who we all love. And he had to step down, be a good dad. And at the same time, he was in Combat Crisis. He hopped in the van with us on our first tour when we met up with Combat.
Yeah.
And it was basically told to him at the last day that, yeah, we're expecting you to take up in Animal's shoes.
I basically just said, okay, why not? I mean, I knew that Combat Crisis wasn't going to do really anything after that tour. And all I wanted to do was keep playing shows and touring and recording. They were just going to take a break right after the System Racks tour, so I had to screw that. I'll join FTS and just keep going. And been going ever since.
Nice. And how about you, Keith?
I joined last year, so that's like 2 years after Will joined, almost. And I got a text, come see FTS practice at Pariah, and I come over, and John K is getting like voted out.
John K was not being voted out.
He didn't want to tour.
He did not have the time to do the lengthy tours we wanted to do. And the vote you're talking about was being like, hey, is he going to come play this show that show in Roanoke?
Yeah,
he's lucky he didn't go to that. We will elaborate on that one later.
And then, they like practiced downstairs, and Dustin's like, Keith, you should join, and boom,
Yeah.
Bow's history.
Alright. Oh, and for you guys out there out of Philadelphia, so you know, Pariah, that was one of like the awesome local Philly punk houses in South Philadelphia. We miss it very much. It was cool. I'm sure you guys could find some YouTube videos, Pariah, Philadelphia.
I was the bartender.
Yeah. Oh, and also, as a side note, Will over here, he was also in my band, the Trauma Triggers.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Dirty.
That was the shit, dude.
I was very drunk and I don't remember much.
Dirty.
Basically, what I could say about the band is, if you seen a Fringe Fucker video, it was basically that, but in a band format. So yeah, I did get pissed on, fucked on, whatever. You know, it was fun. Just debauchery to the max, and this guy was fucking the tits. It was great having him in the band. So you know, you guys got a great thing going on here. So. Sam, what's it like being the only fucking original FTS guy? The pioneer.
I don't know. I don't really, even at this point, consider myself the only one now, like from the original, because we've evolved so much through the past 4 years, and he's basically been here almost since the fucking very beginning at this point.
Yeah.
And like the way he's came in the past year, and you know, him and John Kay, the old lead guitarist, have completely different styles. John Kay was an NFC Motorhead guy, rock and roll as fuck.
Yeah.
And it's just completely, all the songs have evolved through the years, even the ones we wrote as a 4-piece that we still play today. They sound almost nothing like they originally did. So that's like, I don't know, he's been in the band for every single tour we've done.
Yeah.
Yeah, and personally, that's one thing that I really love about these guys is like, you know, you get those bands that they go through like different lineups and shit, but they still do the same exact stuff. Whereas, you know, one thing that I personally dig about you guys is, you know, how you could actually notice the difference, you know, between the different lineups, where it's almost, you know, for lack of a better term, you could almost say it's kind of like almost like a different band. Yeah. You know, like it definitely has its own original sound. You could actually feel like, you know, the aura and the fucking energy and the influences that each new member has. So fuck yeah, dude, kudos on that.
Around even the time that I joined the band was when John Kay was in there, and
you were so happy to be playing with him again.
Yeah, I was, because me and John Kay had a band back in the day called Cryovax, and that was actually around the same time that Common Alliance was around, and being in a band with him was really, really cool. But going from like John Kay and even like Dustin leaving, and then Chaz getting kicked out, and basically all of that happening, seeing these members just fade away, and then you have new members, you know, replacing there. It doesn't change that much because everyone just basically tries to get the same feeling in that band, like the same songs that we're writing. Basically, like cutting out any division, cutting out where even our writing process is basically like anything that like you want to put in. Yeah. All right, there's no restrictions. We're all about writing original music. So I don't know. I guess I don't know.
You're babbling.
Yeah, I'm babbling.
Yeah, as long as it's good and not ripping off someone else's style, we gonna fucking run with it and twist it. Whenever someone brings a riff to the table, it never stays the same.
Yeah.
No.
Everything gets Frankensteined.
Nice.
Yeah, I like, as I was joining and like learning the songs, I knew I was gonna be like the lead guitarist, so I was like telling Zaya and like everyone in the band, they're not gonna sound the same. I'm not John Kay.
And what did we say? Cool.
That's what we expect. Do it. Bring
and
your
again,
style.
dude, that's one
as long as I
bring
give
your
100, that's all that matters.
Again, dude, like I said, that's one of the things that I really like about these guys. You know, it's fuck yeah, dude. Cheers on the fucking, you know, the chance, you know, like that you guys allow yourselves to, you know, evolve as a band. Because I don't know, for some reason you get these bands that just, I don't know. I guess a lot of times is, you know, I mean, that's what's unfortunate about bands like, you know, say the Exploited and shit. That, you know, that their fan base. No, but you know what I'm saying. It's like their fan base, and you guys know what I'm talking about. Their fan base pretty much demands that they stick with the same exact songs. So you have the unfortunate situation where you have these bands that they pretty much become stuck doing the same fucking thing.
Same two
Even
albums.
through all the different lineups they had, they pretty much just do the same thing for like fucking 30, 40 years. It's like, nah.
It happens with a lot of bands, and you got this like sort of like thing. It's like, well, I really like these like 2 first albums, but you know, the band should like evolve.
Yeah.
at the same time.
I
And
think bands should
I think-
evolve, dude, personally, yeah.
No one wants to hear the same album. Well, I mean,
Well,
I don't want to hear
unfortunately,
the
a lot of
same,
people do, right, guys?
same,
And hey,
same
you know, we all
album.
been guilty about that. I mean, I know when I was 17, you know, I was like not open about like when fucking Exploited did that new record back then. You know, I was like, fuck this metal
Fuck the
shit. But,
system.
yeah, so
So
you know,
good.
so I get it, dude. We all been guilty
guitar,
about it,
too.
but you know, hey. Anyways, dude, yeah, keep doing what you guys are doing, man. Definitely. And that kind of links me into asking one thing, like in punk in general, like pretty much, you know, what would you say like punk means to you, or like how you define it, or what is it? Let's start with you, Will. Yeah.
Punk to me is kind of like an escape from like the day-to-day realities that you see. You know, you see like all this completely, when every single day you wake up, you do the same routine over and over and over again. Drives you fucking crazy. You deal with so much stupid bullshit, and it's kind of like a little world of your own that you can escape to. So, like, say you had a really bad day, horrible day at work, fucking, your girlfriend just split up with you, you're completely fucked, you know, you're almost fucking broke, so you're probably gonna spend your last year's fucking money on 40s, but then you go to a show, or you have to play a gig, or anything like that, you know, and then you go to that show, and all of your problems completely disappear, you know, because you're in, like, basically a comfortable zone where you can be yourself. And hear like music that's completely original most of the time, or anything of that matter. Anything that's gonna like get your aggressions out. Anything. I don't know. Now I'm babbling again, and you know. So someone else, please
That's
talk.
a tendency. Yeah. There's one thing I remember you said to me. I don't know, probably close to 8 years ago. That's always rung in my head. You put 100 punks in a room. You're gonna get a different definition of what punk is every time. Yo, me personally, punk is my culture. Like, this is what I know. This is all I want to know. Like, yeah, it's the culture. It's a slice of the world that is ours, and we can do whatever we want with it.
Yeah, I get like deemed as like born punk, and sometimes I take on that thing, but
Prince punk.
yeah, but I
Yeah, his
got
dad's a wicked old school punk guy.
yeah. Shout out
Boy,
to
Dennis.
Steven 1977.
What?
But it took me time to find punk myself. Like, if you look at all the bands I like started listening to, they're not punk at all. But
Not much has changed.
yeah, and I think punk is just be yourself, and do 100 all the time. Do your best, be yourself. Simple.
Yo, what's the Joe Strummer quote? Punk to me means having perfect.
Exemplary manners for others.
Yeah, and one thing I really love to think is that if you're really a punk, like if you really believe in all this, you're gonna be a better person than that Christian next to you, because you live this life, you have seen and been through shit, and you have to have some kind of humanity towards everyone else.
Yeah.
And a lot of us are fucking assholes. But
Everyone.
when someone's hurting, I feel like punks are always the ones who come through a lot.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out Mike Virus, fucking doing all the great comps recently.
Yeah.
Dude, awesome. Fucking
Rock Against Racism.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of cool
Yeah.
shit, dude. You guys even heard about, like the punks in California in Pasadena. This was like a week ago or something.
Yeah.
The KKK came to do a march. You guys could like Google this. It's like been all over Facebook and shit. And fucking the Klan came, did this march, and all these like punk rockers just went there and fucking beat the shit out of these fucking Nazi guys.
Yep.
The funny thing is, dude, that like one of their leader guys, he fucking saw like all his buddies get beat up, and what this guy actually did, which is hilarious because it's on video, he actually got he did a sneak. He threw his something some anti-Jew thing, I don't know. So he threw his anti-Jew side on the floor and got in his car and drove off, dude. He was one of their leaders too. he got in the car and drove off as his friends were getting beat up by punks. I thought that was hilarious, dude. So, sure, yeah, fuck yeah, Punk standing up, man.
Yeah, dude. And, yeah,
That was awesome. Check it out. Check out the article. It's, yeah.
Yo, and our homie Rory from the Posers setting up the Rock Against Racism all around the country. I believe it's Saturday, April 23rd. It's going to be LA, Atlanta, all over
Denver,
the place.
everywhere.
And I'll put the link, like, you know, right below this video. I'll put the link to that. You know, it's happening all over the country. It's awesome. You guys definitely check it out. Spread the word. You know, repost it. You know, because I'm sure it's somewhere near where you live. But yeah, definitely. So yeah, man, punk does. You know, I don't know. It's definitely awesome. But I know that we all, you know, well, for the exception of Keith over here, most of us were not born punk. But you know, basically that brings me into wanting to know, like, all right, how about those days before punk? You know, like what other, you know, like what else that was, I guess, non-punk, what you consider was an influence, you know? Like before you knew about punk, what got you going, I guess? What was your influence? What, I don't know. However you want to think of the question, but yeah.
What are the influences before punk?
Yeah, before
Well,
punk.
My mom and dad still are activists. Grew up, they came from my age in, you know, the late 70s, so they went through the 60s and everything. So I was brought up with a lot of, like, you know, mamas and papas, that kind of bullshit. Awesome harmonies.
Yeah.
All the musicians that were never credited on those albums also, amazing. But yeah, there was a lot of that, and when I finally started, like, feeling my own groove, you know, it was, like, middle school in the middle 90s, so what was getting shoved down the throat was, like, Mudvayne and all that. And then, you know, the one day I snuck into my sister's room, I'm like, Rancid, I've heard of them. Link 80? Let me see that. Exploited the Massacre. This looks awesome. And like, remember putting on Rancid 1990. Yeah. Just be like, okay, there we go. And then from there it was like, yeah, just do whatever you did before the internet was around to find how to get to a punk show.
Yeah, nowadays, I mean, yeah, in our days, dude, definitely, like, you know, I'm sure it was different with all, you know, all of us. Then, you know, I mean, not having the internet, I don't know, I'm older, I'm fucking 43. I mean, you know, back then it was the kind of thing that, you know, I, like, didn't even know of its existence or anything till, like, we moved to United States. We actually moved to New York, and that's, like, when I first saw punk, because, like, my parents were, like, a lot into jazz. We would go to fucking Lower East Side, you know, and, like, check out, like, jazz bands, and, you know, I saw, like, these guys walking with, like, awesome hair and shit. I think I was, like, 7 or 8. I was like, whoa, I want my hair like that when I grow up. I don't know. It looked, you know.
Yeah, dude, I remember.
And then, you know, in middle school, there was this skateboarder girl I was in love with. She was, like, a punk rocker chick, so, yeah, that kind of, yeah, but.
I got into punk from my parents, actually, because they were punks in Los Angeles in like about 1983, 1984. So they're like in like the dead center of Los Angeles, like right at the time when like Fear, X, like fucking Circle Jerks, Black Flag, all those bands were completely playing at the Whiskey a Go Go, all these fucking places, and they saw them completely, every single show. And you know, they fucking told me stories about like them and a bunch of punks like going to like the beach and shit and just like lighting a huge fucking like bonfire and like blasting Rodney on the Rock and shit like that.
Man,
like blasting like Circle Jerks on the fucking radio and shit, all of them like drinking and shit, like blowing shit up. Like and but I was about like 9 years old. My mom showed me because before then I was like digging like Red Hot Chili Peppers and like 311 maybe, because my older brother was kind of listening to that shit. But, like,
always been down.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was whatever. And like and my dad is a huge reggae guy, so I was like, I got into reggae actually like probably like a month before I got into like punk rock. So I was probably like 7 or 8 when I got into reggae. But my mom showed me Social Distortion, Monica Monster, and it's like one of her favorite records. And like I listened to that and like boom, like it just like hit. And then after that, I got into my brother bought me, my brother Colin bought me Ramones' Rocket to Russia.
Nice.
And I listened to that, And like after that, that was like the fucking end of it. Like I was like, as soon as I saw like Dee Dee Ramone on stage, I was like, I have to be that guy. Like, you know, like fuck. And then I got